And, whoa, look at Magoo. Magoo streaks into the...
Thorpe's got past Gavors. They lock handlebars as they go through, but Thorpe's done.
Here comes Bradshaw to the outside of Bale. He takes over the number 2 position, and Bradshaw is not done.
Welcome, Motocross History Team. Hope you all had a great weekend. Today I want to celebrate the birthday of Mike Brown, who turned 54 this weekend. And just let you guys know what an inspiration he is to me. As somebody in my early 50s, he's about a year older than I am, 2 years older than I am. And it's such an inspiration to see him out there still. So I'm going to give you a quick backstory on his history and give you an update on what he's doing these days. Mike Brown first became officially a professional in 1990. By 1992, he had signed with the iconic Team Peak Honda with Mitch Payton, and did okay through 1992 to like 1994, 95. Did pretty well, had some top 10 finishes. You could see he had great potential and speed. He ended up, after that, in 95, I think, he ended up switching to Honda of Troy, which was kind of like the Club MX of its time. Honda of Troy was great. He did really good things with Honda of Troy through 95, 96, ended up placing in the top 4, I think, in 95, and really had some good battles with people like Timmy Ferry, Ryan Hughes, Robbie Reynard, like people of that era. So before we go any further, I want to show you a good clip of him at Budds Creek, 1995, dicing it out for the lead with Timmy Ferry.
And Damon Huffman still mired in 10th place. Welcome back to Budds Creek, Maryland. You're looking at a battle for the lead. Tim Ferry on the Suzuki trying to go the inside of the Honda there of Mike Brown. Boy, it's got tight at the front. Tim Ferry has turned the wick up.
He sure has, and he's definitely putting the pressure on Brown. Brown's starting to ride defensive, and once a guy does that, it gives the rider behind him more confidence. So I think it's important for Ferry to keep that pressure on, try to get around him, and that's going to make it tough for either Lamson or Ryan Hughes to try to get up there and challenge Tim Ferry.
We heard from Ferry's mechanic earlier. There was the halfway sign from the flagger. Right now, Ferry trying to put the pressure, trying to mistake. Another guy who's been strong has been Ryan Hughes, and Art Ekman has made his way to the mechanics area with Wyatt Seals.
Ryan, he's got the good start he's been looking for. Where's he going to make
That any place on the racetrack where it requires a lot of guts to make a move be a good place for Ryan Hughes to do it.
Ryan Hughes, one of the more aggressive riders on the series, and look at Mike Brown. He had a bit of a challenge a few laps ago from number 23, the Suzuki of Tim Ferry.
He decided to make a move in 96 or 97 to Europe because he wanted to get better. So he signed with Team Chesterfield Yamaha, and this is a clip of an interview with him there.
We had the opportunity to talk to one of the preseason favorites, Mike Brown from the USA.
Mike Brown, welcome to Europe. All new experience for you?
Yeah, it's a lot different. I've been over here for a couple weeks and getting used to everything, the way of living, and looking for a good year.
And your early season results look very promising, and you're very quick out of that gate.
Yeah, I do good starts. I've always been known for good starts in America, so hopefully that'll help me this year to get the good starts and good moto finishes. But just looking today for a top 5 finish for the first GP, and I think it'll make me happy for top 5.
So that was a clip of Mike Brown at the right before the 97 season started. Of course, as what would lie ahead for him in the future in that class, he ended up finishing 11th overall that year, but made his mark. But when you have people like Stefan Everts and Sebastian Tortelli, who are like goats of the sport, and were just ripping it on that 250, and he was able to actually keep up with them. Here's a clip of him of the Lockett 250 MXGP. But when you got like people like that, Marnik Bervorts, another just like lightning fast dude, an all-timer. And if you're able to keep up with those guys, like that is an extremely hard class to get into. And it's not very often that you hear, and he said it himself, that you hear during that time especially, Americans saying, I want to go to Europe because I want to get better, and then come back and as a superior rider. Mike was definitely ahead of his time. So let's watch this race at Lockett and see how he's able to kind of keep up with these guys. And in the background, I'm going to play an interview with you for you that he had with Gate Drop last year, and kind of he goes into detail about why he wanted to go to Europe. It's really interesting.
And you finally won your outdoor title after you come back from GPs.
Yes.
Against Langston
Yes.
and was Strand as well that year, wasn't it?
Yep.
How did that feel? I mean, you knocked Langston, or Langston knocked you down at Binghamton. I can't remember which way around it was.
Both. I got Stewart there, and then he knocked me down one race, and I knocked him down in one race. But that was, I think, Europe for that. Europe maybe helped me win the championship for sure. Being over there racing and learn how to ride the tracks the way they should be ridden. And you see now the European guys, it's getting more equal now, but I think back then the European guys had an advantage on how they rode the track, and I learned how to do that. And corner speed was much different than everybody else's. Me and Grants that year we came back, 2001.
You felt you had the advantage.
100%, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So how did it feel to win that title after? Because you were a top rider in America before you came to Europe and do the GPs. Then you went back and won it. How much gratification did that give you?
Oh, a lot. Like I said, I leave it all to Europe, and no, it was good to win. Like everybody counts you out when you go there, and I've been to Europe 3 or 4 times and came back and still do good here. I think, not saying me, but I think me racing there, coming back, same as Zach Osborne.
Yeah.
He went there to race, learned a lot, came back and was winning everything. It's a good learning curve for especially kids. I don't say that's have everything to them. It's hard to go there and race and be competitive when you're not used to the living part, the language part, the whole thing. So when you go up there, you grow up quick and you come back here ready to race.
So I remember watching you at Desert Martin in 2000 on the Dave Thorpe's Honda.
Yeah.
You, Dobb, and Stephen Sword and Carl Nunn, that level of British Championship was really high. Did you enjoy riding British Championship plus the GPs? Was it a lot of racing for you?
No, I love the racing. I'd rather race than sit at home I'd rather race every weekend, especially when you're away from America, wherever you're home. It just keeps you busy and you're focused on I'm racing this weekend. But no, I like the racing. That was good. And that series then a couple of years were was like a GP. You showed up.
Mini GP, really?
Yeah, every race we'd have a European guy show up there, so it wasn't an easy race. And I actually like the tracks a lot. The tracks were technical and
you
rough.
like the British tracks?
100%, yeah.
Right, very good.
Yeah.
So in 1999, he ended up moving to the 125 class MXGPs and raced there in 99 and 2000 and did really well. Upcoming is a clip of him, kind of like an introduction of Mike Brown, but man, he was great in the 125 class.
And American Mike Brown was going all out for a winning debut for Cat Honda. So much so that he suffered a heavy fall during qualifying in France.
Yeah, it's good. I sprained my ankle a little bit, not really bad. In practice this morning I felt okay, nothing was bothering me too much, but yesterday I had a pretty good crash off the tabletop over there in the ruts, but yeah, it was not too bad. Try for the championship, that's what I always want. I think I need to win something in my career. It helped me a lot. Yeah, hopefully just get some good starts. I think it'll be the main thing this year is getting up there with Coyote or who's going the fastest and getting out early and racing with them.
So in 99, 2000, he rode for Cat Honda and raced against some really great dudes in Langston, Coyote, Frederici, Dobb, champions in their own right, and really held his own. In 2000, he actually won 2 MXGP events at Luxembourg and at Germany. I would show him here, but unfortunately I could not find any footage of those events. But he was with, like I said, straight up guys that were future champions. Langston, Coyote, Dobb, just to name a few. So with that experience, he ended up coming back to the States. And like he said in his interview with Gate Drop, that time in Europe, those 4 years in Europe, he just felt so much more prepared when he came back to the U.S. to go back into the 125 class. I mean, it's a great optic from, you don't see it very often. Guys that race the 125 class or any class and do fairly well and then head to Europe to gain experience and to get better and then come back and actually visibly are better, as he ended up winning the 125 class in the national title in 2001. Now here's a clip of him, and like I said, I'm sorry it's so grainy, but that's the best. This is the best one I could get. At Glen Helen, the season opener, and after he came back in 2001 in 02, after he won the championship, I think he was signed by Kawasaki, and Mitch Payton once again. It was like a reunion for the two. And so let's take a look at this clip here in Glen Helen, the season opener, and then we'll pick it up from there.
Senior, he is watching his son pursue Mike Brown, the defending 125 national champion, and this one is going down to the wire, David.
Whoa, Stewart. It's a little squirrely, hits a break, and what a save. Anybody else might have been in that fence. This kid's reflex, he's like a squirrel, man. Watch this. He hits a break, he goes between the hay bale and the fence. Those fans get a close-up look at this new kid.
I don't know if it's the Fox gear or the Kawasaki or what, but it just reminds me of Ricky Carmichael. And here's the mistake by Grant Langston earlier. He went in the inside, he punched a braking bump, and off the track he went. Langston making one mistake in each moto, but he continues to hold third. However, back a little further, Ernesto Fonseca is fighting for 6th place with Chad Reed, our runner-up in the first moto, but the rider who went down in the second turn at the start of this moto.
And that's the corner right there where Chad made his mistake. Also Fonseca, he went down right there in the first moto. So you're looking at Ernie, probably not going to be very happy with this race, considering the fact that he came from last to 7th in the first moto, and Chad Reed goes right around him and puts him back to 7th in this moto, and he has no excuse. He had a good start. So Reed, the one really on the move here, and Fonseca needing to pick up the pace a little bit. He flirted with that Epstein bar, and it's just a deal where that your immune system just can't keep up with your work ethic, and you just have to take a lot of time off. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Travis had a little bit of that going on, and it seems like he would have noticed that with all the testing he's had, but it's very similar where he just needs time off to let his body recuperate, and unfortunately Brock doesn't have that time, so the Supercross season is kind of a wash, and it looks like the Nationals will be as well, and Brown is pulled away.
Mike Brown on his last lap here at Glen Helen Raceway. He rebounds from that first moto 10th to come back, and he put the screws to everyone, including James Stewart.
You know, I thought after watching what happened to him in the first moto that just sort of bad luck and dumb things would continue and keep him out of it, but the way he fought back in this moto, he wants this to defend this championship, and he is serious about it, and I have no doubts that he can.
Mike Brown points at the #1 across the finish line. He gets himself a moto win, but the overall winner this time will be James Stewart, the 2nd place rider in the 2nd moto. Langston.
Brownie would continue to bounce around throughout the 2000s, but where he really made his name again was in the last 6 or 7 years, where he just turned into this Ironman that was just winning everything. It seems like he still has the same speed, but he's going up against 40 and 50-year-olds, and just looks like he's on the track by himself when he's out there. He's done everything from the vet national championships to Loretta Lynn's to the vet MXDN, and the dude just makes everybody else look slow. Like at the VMXDN, he's racing against guys that are in their 30s that are 2 decades younger than him, and he's smoking them, and it's just awesome to see. Upcoming here, I'm going to play you a clip of just how good he is. 2023 Loretta Lynn's Amateur Nationals. It's awesome. Now, forgive me, but some of this footage is him on a 4-stroke, but I'm going to concentrate on the fact that it's him. He could easily do this on a 2-stroke, and has done it on a 2-stroke as well. But it's just awesome to see how great he is. So we'll take a look at this clip that's like 3 minutes long, and then we'll move to the final step, final 2 steps of him at the VMXDN, where he just smokes everybody on a YZ, I think a YZ250, and then we'll go into a little bit about the crash that he had about 10 months ago where he broke his neck. And in the background for the last couple of minutes, he'll explain the details of his crash and his recovery.
Mike Brown, nice to see you here. How are you feeling after everything that's happened to you?
Yeah, no, it's getting there. Each week it's better. You know, at the first I healed up quicker. Each day I noticed a lot of big difference, and now it's a week at a time. And I'm lucky just to be walking and happy to be doing that there and back on my bicycle now. So moving steps forward. So yeah, everything's going the right direction. Hopefully in another month or so I should be back to 100%.
Have you any pain still, or are you able to sleep at night?
No, it's crazy. I broke my neck in 3 spots. I broke number C1.5. I never had no pain. It's crazy. Yes,
really?
No pain. Mostly my problem was my vision. It's probably 99% better now, but my balance was off, and I'd say it's my ears. So yeah, we keep working to get that better, and like I said, each week gets better. So hopefully for a full recovery one day soon, hopefully.
So full recovery is still possible?
It should be close, yeah. It should be close, they were saying. So it's only been 3.5 months now. So they give me up to a year for the nerve stuff, and hopefully my eyes and ears will get better when they can adjust. I should still have my neck collar on for December the 1st. So they said if I'm on level grounds, I can take it off. So yeah, until December, they really can't adjust my neck until my ears, for my balance until then.
Right,
so it's getting there.
And from what I understood, that you just got slammed into the ground head first while you were riding? Head first. It was like a faster left sweeping corner, and it threw me to the right. And before I could get my arms out or anything, I was straight on my head. And it's like a row of dirt on the edge of the track, and I lit straight into that. But I got up and never was paralyzed then. I got up, took my helmet off. Oh, did you?
Drove 2 hours to the hospital.
No way.
Yeah, so it was, I got lucky that when I took my helmet off, I didn't paralyze myself.
In spite of his injury, over the last couple of years, one of the greatest things he's been known for is his participation and dominance in the vet motocross designations, as he just has a tendency to just smoke everybody. They're actually afraid of him there, which is awesome to see a guy in his early 50s do the damage he does. So listen to this interview, and then the last part will be the race. Everybody make sure to give Mike Brown happy birthday. Get on his DMs or find a way to congratulate him for being the Ironman of motocross of our time, and have a good day.
Representing the red, white and blue, we have the fastest over 50 to ever live, the one and only Mr. Mike Brown.
Yeah, it's like you said, my teammates are good. You know, Villapoto, you can't say much about him, and Zach. Yeah, if it's America's time to win, it has to be this weekend, or I don't think it's ever going to happen again. So, but no, Brad Anderson, Neville Bradshaw, there's going to be a handful of guys that's going to be winning motos, I think. I love competition. If I'm 4th or 5th or 1st, competition's what I'm here for. And like I said, I think here's getting a good gate pick is going to be the main thing for the weekend.
The gates have dropped and we're about to find out. And it's Ryan Villapoto. RV grabs the whole shot. He's closely followed by his teammate Mike Brown, Neville Bradshaw, Brad Anderson and Mel Pocock right in the mix as well. But it's RV leading the way, looking supremely good on that Doc Wob built YZ250. Just listen to those fans go wild. This is awesome. And look how tight it is at the front. This is what we came to see. This is two-stroke motocross racing at its very best. RV still leads the way, but he's being hounded by his Team USA teammate, Downtown Mike Brown, chasing hard. Brad Anderson into 3rd now. Look at this, 1, 2, 3. Neville Bradshaw in the mix too, as is Mel Pocock still. We're launching up the hill. RV still leads the way. And Mike Brown into the lead, so Mike Brown makes the move, takes over the leading position from his teammate Ryan Villapoto. And Mel Pocock is into 3rd position now, chasing hard. And Pocock's into 2nd. Pocock's making moves. Team GB, he makes a move on Ryan Villapoto to take over 2nd position. A mistake from Mike Brown there, so it's close on this last lap of action. And Brad Anderson also makes a move on Ryan Villapoto to take over 3rd position. But as the last lap draws to a close, it's going to be Downtown Mike Brown taking the win for Team USA.